Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf Edwards, and welcome to part 40 of the Abigail Freeman story. Let us begin. So Abigail was just laying down in her bed. She wasn't sleeping by this point because she had just woken up a couple minutes before. And she wanted to go out for a run. It looked like a beautiful day outside her window. It was, of course, 6 o'clock a.m. by that point, and the sun was shining. So she decides to get dressed, and of course, she packed up her, jumpsuit, her track shoes, and her headband that she wears sometimes when she wants to wear it, of course. So, she wakes up her wife. Margaret said, "Where are you going?" Abigail said, "I'm going out running. Do you want to come with me?" "No, I'm okay. I see how you run. I can't keep up with you, girl. I cannot keep up with you at all if my life depended on it. So, no, I will not be going with you because I know how you are, and the answer is no. The answer is definitely no. Okay, no problem. You're gonna make a big deal out of it. I get it. I get what you're trying to say. I am way too fast for you." Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'll see you later. I'll see you when I get back. How long will you be? I don't know. Maybe about a couple hours. Okay, no problem. And so, Abigail left the guest bedroom after she put her clothes on, of course. And she was out. She was walking towards the door, and Bobby, who, as we know, is the boyfriend of the king of Silvercat and the best friend of the queen of Silvercat, he was about to go out for one too. And so he asked her, "Do you want to go out running with me?" "Yeah, I would love to." "Come on then." So she opens the door, and they were running out the door. They were running clear out the door. It was a first start, of course, for Abigail. She just ran out of there real fast, of course. Bobby could barely keep up with her, but he carried his own, of course. So he kept up with her for a little while longer until he fell behind eventually. After that, he was selling like crazy. He was selling bullets. He looked at her and he touched her and said, "You're not sweating at all." "No, I don't do that sometimes." Wow. That's kind of weird. And then she says, "What is so weird about it? You don't sweat when you run." I mean, that is a little bit weird, isn't it? Huh. What is that? I don't know. I don't think that's normal. And then Bobby said, I don't think that's normal either. Huh. Oh well. I'll take care of it when I get back home. Cool, okay. So they continue to run back and forth across the street and back. Across the street and back. Everything was going well. And after that, she wanted to go back to the guest, to the second castle to eat some breakfast. Because she made the horrific decision to run when she knew, and of course, Bobby knew that they didn't have breakfast before they ran, and so they were starving. So they decided to go eat some breakfast at the second castle. So they went back to the castle, and they opened the door, and breakfast is waiting for them. So they just walk in. They stopped running, and they just walked in to the castle. The princess, Margaret, and the others are waiting for them to come back to the castle. They take their seats, and that was it. They ate breakfast, and Abigail was tired at that point. She needed to take a nap. So after breakfast, that's exactly what she did. She took her nap, and she wakes up a couple minutes later for lunch, and she decides to do something special. To do something special with her wife, Margaret. And she decides to take her wife out to lunch. So she wakes up, grabs her wife, and says, "Are you dressed?" "Yes," she says. "I'm taking you out for lunch. And then I'm going to take you out for dinner." "Okay, no problem." So that's exactly what they did. They took a limo after they left the second castle, and they were going out to lunch. They get to a restaurant, or they find a restaurant. They tell the limo driver to pull up to the restaurant, of course. They get out of the limo, and it's packed. It's a diner. It's a diner. It's a big diner, by the way. And they decided that they were going to eat there. So they take their seats in the diner, and they sit down. Everything's going fine. The waiter takes their order, and they're having a good time, basically. After that, they eat their meal, and Abigail decides to take her out to do some more activities with each other. So she says to her, "Do you want to go to an amusement park like old times?" "Like old times?" "Okay, cool." So they leave the restaurant. After that, they are So they leave the restaurant. They get back to the limo and they find an amusement park. And they're just having a great time. They get to the amusement park that is also packed. Now they are weirded out by this because they have no idea what's going on at that time. So, of course, it's very surprising to them. So, they find a ride, they get on the ride, and they're having the time of their lives. Basically, obviously, probably, obviously. Anyway, they are screaming their heads off, and they're having the time of their lives, like I just said before. Then they get off the ride, and they see of course, a corn dog stand. So they grab their money, and they, pay for the corn dog, and for the rest of the afternoon, they are eating corn dogs together. After that, the sun is setting, going down, and it's time for dinner. It's dinner time. They go back to the limo, and they go back to the second castle. They get home, they get to the second castle, or the castle, and they are preparing themselves for dinner that night. After that, they sit down, everything's going great for them, they eat dinner, and now it's time for Abigail and Margaret to go back to bed. So they leave the dinner table after they finish their dinner, obviously, and then they, of course, are going to bed. Margaret says, "That was a great time. Thank you, honey." Well, I am so glad you appreciated that. Because I want to go back home. Really? Yeah. Okay. And with that, and with that, it was decided that in the morning they were going to go back to America and Sweet Town. And so Abigail closes her eyes, and that was it. To be continued. Well, I of course enjoyed the video, and I hope you did too. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.